This is a conceptual prototype for an exhibit in an exhibition.
A what?
An exhibit is an element in a larger exhibition. The title of this exhibition is Timescape, an exhibition on time, without time. A conceptual prototype is an idea, not fully formed. Oh wait, it's sustainable. Hovering above the ground, and happily floating there until someone comes along and grounds it. But for now, it will just be a conceptual prototype. This conceptual prototype is part of my thesis on presenting abstract concepts through exhibition space and visitor experience.
Huh?
There are abstract concepts the museums would like to present, such as identity, dreams, art, love,
Like
reality,
showing her with the plants when they were like running.
truth. My thesis proposes a method to present these abstract concepts in a way that visitors may learn about it experientially. In my exhibition, I am presenting the abstract concept of time. This exhibit is presenting the block model of time.
The entire history of the universe, the entire history of this conversation never happened. There's an answer
that's
for
really
you.
what you...
And that's what I think.
So how do you think most people tend to conceive or perceive of time?
Most people tend to conceive of time in what we call a kind of linear model, that time is a line and there's a point on that line that represents now, and we live in that now, and the past is the latter part of the line, and the future is the arrow that the line is inclining towards. So that basically time flows forward along this line, and this is why you get metaphors like time is a river, or you get expressions like timeline.
I think most people see time as something which coexists uniformly throughout the universe, which is to say that now is now everywhere, and that we proceed through a series of moments which are uniformly shared by everything and everyone else in the universe, and that time moves at a uniform rate.
What are the problems with thinking of time in this way?
Well, what we know from Einsteinian physics is that time does not proceed at the same rate, that not all clocks move in uniformity with one another. And we know that now really has no universal meaning. That is, different observers will disagree about when now is, what has taken place, what will take place. That there is, I always used to think of time as kind of like Jell-O that permeated the whole universe, and it was like this medium that you inhabited, but it doesn't work that way.
And how would you describe the block model of time?
The block model of time tries to look at events so that the beginning, the middle, and the end are all somehow equally accessible. It's kind of like standing outside of time and looking down at it, and almost seeing time as a form of space. I mean, when we look at an object in space, we see all of it simultaneously. And in block time, one sees the entire progress of an event, as it were, simultaneously. You see the beginning, middle, and end all in one glance. And so it's a way of thinking about events, in a sense, from outside time. It's a way of thinking about events as thinking about time as a kind of spatial dimension.
And if we compare this to what's called the block model of time, there's quite a contrast. Again, we have the idea of the present right here, the now, but also we have future moments and past moments all coexisting in one solid entity, if you will, the block. And what this means, again, is that although we perceive the now and remember the past, even the future too also exists. So all these moments are existing simultaneously. In a kind of classic diagram, what's often shown is an airplane circling above an airport. And if we looked at that as a single moment, it would be a circle. But since as the airplane goes around and around, time is also passing, the actual space-time configuration that is rendered is a spiral, like this.
So if time exists in this way, why do we see time as sort of moving forward?
This is a very good question. Why is it that we seem to inhabit only one moment in time? If events occupy a block, and if one can think about events as you know, sort of, if you can think about the entire progress of an event as one thing, why is it we only see one bit of it? Is it because our consciousness is somehow limited to one moment at a time? That's the $64,000 question. And you know, actually, it's even more complicated than that, because, in fact, if you look at, for example, the way the eye works, we think we see an entire scene in one glance, but actually we're seeing little pieces of it through time, and our brain kind of adds those things together. So in a sense, we are actually seeing we experience not a moment in time, but an interval of time. And the neurophysiology of time perception is actually pretty elaborate. So we only have the illusion of experiencing things at one moment. In fact, we're actually, you know, who is it? Somebody says the present actually lasts about 2 seconds. And we are bringing a little bit of the past with us in sensing what's going on at a given moment. So we're, in a sense, we experience block time, we just don't know it.